the new Shining Sunrise. From this box, we're getting a brand new deck type called War Rock. War Rock.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
And on Master Duel meta, I brought up a War Rock deck type and I pulled out all the non-core cards. So if we type in War Rock, we could see what cards are going to be good for the deck and how much we got. Because we are so used to Duel Links giving us incomplete deck types. So looking at a War Rock deck in Master Duel, these are the core cards of the deck, nothing in the extra deck. Now this is known for being a really bad deck in the TCG, but that does not mean it's going to be bad in Duel Links. We have Dark Lords, which is so many cards are limited and restricted, yet it's not a good deck in TCG nor Master Duel. If we look at the War Rock deck type by typing War Rock on the leak, we can see that we're getting every single card, every single one. Let's talk about the boss monster and the field spell. How good is this going to be? This is 2600 attack. Cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. Cannot be destroyed. What are the most popular cards that destroy? Is destroy even popular in the meta? Well, you can't Galaxy Eyes full armor. You can't Treacherous Trap Hole it. You can't Cipher Blade Dragon it. You can't Dark Contract to the Witch it. Otherwise, if we look at the most popular cards in total, it's probably just going to get Book of Moon, right? Book of Moon, Malevolent Sin, Econ Taked, Yoink, and so the most popular cards are not destroying. When an attack is declared involving this card and an opponent's monster, so they could attack into you, you can negate that opponent's monster's effects this turn, as well as the activated effects and effects on the field of monsters with its original name. Once per turn during a battle phase in which your Earth monster battles, you can make all War Rock gain 200 attack until the end of your opponent's turn. So it is essentially a 2800 attack. This can also make double attack on monsters during each battle phase this turn. So how do we easily summon this? Now, I know that the other War Rocks, they have an ability that if this card is sent from your monster zone to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you could special summon a level 5 or higher War Rock monster from your hand or deck. So they got to be careful to not use any removal on your War Rock monster, at least your Forcia. Do they all have that effect? Yeah, all of them have the effect if your opponent uses a card effect to get your monster off the field, you're going to then summon the Meteor Ragon, War Rock Meteor Ragon from the hand or deck. Now, the War Rock Mountain, I believe, is going to be another way to summon this boss monster. 2600. This is going to be the main boss you want to summon. Double attack, indestructible by card effects. When this card's activated, add a War Rock from your deck to your hand. Then, at the start of the battle phase, if you control no monsters or all of your monsters are warrior, you could special summon a War Rock from your hand with a different name than the cards you control. Add a War Rock monster. It is not restricted to level 4 or lower. The War Rock Mountain could add the War Rock Meteor Ragon. Oh my. And then special summon it at the start of the battle phase. If your warrior monster would be destroyed by battle, you could send this card to the graveyard instead. So this could search for the big boy and then special summon it at the start of the battle phase. Or if any of your other War Rocks are sent to the graveyard or leave the field due to an opponent's card effect, you get to special summon it from your hand or deck. Now, let's read this one. I'm going to read in order. Basically, I'm looking at the rarities of Master Duel to see which card is probably the most important. And also in Duel Links, that is relevant. The ultra rare and the super rare. But now that everything's going to rare and normal, the super rares of the deck, we have War Rock Dignity, and then we still have the Forcia and the Wento. Let's read those cards. Let's start off with the Dignity. Quick effect. And if you look at this, this is generally the ratios of how it's being played in Master Duel. This is being played 1 to 2. This is being played at 1. This is 1 to 2. Definitely 3, 3, 3, 2, 2 to 3. What does the Dignity do? The Dignity, you must control a War Rock to activate either of these effects. When a monster your opponent controls activates effect, negate. Just straight up negate. Monster activates effect, negate. It's not on the field. It could be the hand. Now it's negate that effect. So does this negate a damage step effect? No. It will not be able to negate the damage step, but outside of the damage step of a monster effect activating, hand, field, or grave, that's pretty good. Normally, we're used to negating monsters on the field, so being able to negate the hand, field, or grave with this, during the battle phase when your opponent activates a spell or trap or monster effect, negate the effect, and then it extends to, in the battle phase, they're going to have to activate their spell and trap cards outside of the battle phase. So if we look at the most popular spell and trap cards of Duel Links right now, they all can be used outside of the battle phase, but if they don't know how your deck works, they're going to save it for the battle phase like a fool and then get negated. So that's pretty cool. Forcing your opponent to use cards within the main phase. You can only activate one per turn, so negate spell, trap, or negate a monster at any moment. Very nice. Very cool. And do we have a way to search this? Let's read the card that we're going to play 3 of. Level 4, we could search this with a field spell, but if we're searching this, then we're not searching the boss monster. When do we not search the boss monster to special summon? If an Earth Warrior monster battles after damage calculation, so after damage calculation is when we have another card that activates after damage calc. That is when the Melodious is activating, right before the end of the damage step. This is after the damage calculation, not during. This is going to activate. You could add a War Rock card, add a War Rock card, add the negates. If a warrior monster battles, it does not have to be this one. If another warrior battles, so you could War Rock Mountain, search this, summon it, and then War Rock Mountain, summon another War Rock from the hand. That War Rock battles, then this will activate after damage calculation to search for a negate or another War Rock card. And then if this card is sent, it has to be sent to the graveyard, not banished. If sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, not by battle, not banished, you get to special summon the level 5 or higher War Rock from your hand or deck. Really simple card. After damage calc, search. Now, let's look at the Gactos, since it's being used 3 of in the deck. And then we'll look at Wento and this one, and that'll be the final ones I'm looking at. Gactos. If an Earth monster is normal summoned to your field, you could special summon this card from your hand. So, War Rock Mountain, search for Forsha, normal summon Forsha, special summon Gactos, start of the battle phase, War Rock Mountain, special summon Meteo Ragan. That's 3 full fields, full field play. And you could also rank 4 exceed with this. You could special summon this, and then that's it. It literally just special summons for rank 4 exceeding. Does not lock you into War Rock or warrior type monsters, so you could exceed into anything. This will be our exceed play. Very simple. Search, special summon, search your deck and special summon, negate, searchable with the Forsha. Now, this will only search for a War Rock monster. This cannot search for the negates. Now let's look at Wento, which is going to be played at most popularly at 2. Wento. What does Wento do? If your Earth monster battles during damage calculation, you can pay 800 KW. Your battling monster gains 800 until the end of this turn. So the Wento will boost up the Meteo Ragan from, it gains 200 itself. During the battle phase of an Earth monster battles, it's going to be 28. Plus, it's going to be 3,600 attack. 36. And then this can also boost it up to 38. After damage calculation, that is. So this will be good. It's a boost until the end of the turn. You're just the battling monster gains it. And is this once per turn? Can we use this more than once per turn? If your battling monster battles during damage calculation, minus 800 KW, it is not once. You can only use each effect once per turn. Okay. So we got the battle boost. We could boost us up to 3,600. We have a monster spell and trap card negate. This will negate spell and trap during the battle phase. I like that. It's a beatdown deck. And if you notice, I'm not going to show you an extra deck because it doesn't use an extra deck that is specific to War Rock. Now, it does use an extra deck in general, and we could look at that. So now let's look at a full build of what it looks like on Master Duel and see how similar it could be to Duel Links if you want an idea on how to build it. You definitely want to put in Celestial, Dasher, Fusion, Destiny. That's going to be the best way to play it. Any rank 4 exceed is going to be good. So rank 4 exceed spam. That's good. And let's look at the final monster. We didn't look at this one. War Rock Mammoth. That's the final one we did not look at. And then we're going to be done talking about War Rock. Let's read it. Warrock Mammoth. It's going to be the level 5. We could summon this with any of their effects if they're sent to the graveyard by your opponent's card effect, or we could summon it with the field spell. If you control no monsters, or you control only warrior, you can normal this without tributing. Okay, you open it, summon it. If your Earth Warrior battles after damage calculation, you can target one spell trap card your opponent controls, destroy it, then War Rocks gain 200 attack. We may not even have room for this. I'm thinking triple Wento, triple Forsha, triple Gactos, triple Dignity, triple Warrock, triple Meteoragon. Did I already go past 20 cards? Holy shite. I'm just looking at these. So it's a really fun beatdown deck with rank 4 exceed spam with the Warrock Gactos. There's no main phase 2, rank 4 exceed. So when this summons during the battle phase, we're not going to be able to exceed with it. The Gactos will be the exceeding. Very cool deck. I commend Konami for giving us a complete deck type here. This is a complete deck type. They didn't, sprinkle this over 10 different boxes. You see how it's being played in Master Duel. They probably looked at our own website because they don't have actual internal analytics of how this deck's being played because no one's playing it in the TCG. And they're like, you know what? Let's give them everything in Duel Links. And they did. And this might actually be a good deck in Duel Links. I'm happy to see it. And it is a main box. So, it could still be considered free to play. Let's talk about the Quant. So looking at a Super Quant deck from Master Duel, these are the core cards of the deck. Are we missing anything? How many cards did they give us? Quant. We got the trap. The deck doesn't really use the trap. That's okay. Let's look at the exceeds. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 exceeds. We have 5 exceeds here. The exceed we're missing is the Super Quantal Mech Beast, which the deck does play 2 generally, but maybe that's not a big deal. We do have the boss exceed. If we look at the main deck, Super Quantum White Layer is the only card we are missing. Otherwise, we have everything else. Ultra rare at the Quant at the top. Let's start off with the boss monster. This is the boss, right? Why is the boss a rare? Is it difficult to summon? Now, it's worth noting this deck is not good in Master Duel, and I have no idea what the deck does. So let's try to read it. 3 level 12 monsters. What? How are we going to make this? If this card is sent to the graveyard, you could special summon 3 Quant Mech Beast Exceeds with different names from your graveyard. This card gains these effects based on the number of materials with different names attached to it. 2+, we have the once per turn during the main phase to shuffle 1 card in the field into the deck. Non-targeting, shuffle a card, not a monster, a card into the deck. Not the hand, and not targeting, and not a monster, it's anything. Is that reasonable? Is that reasonably are we reasonably gonna be summoning this? What else? We have 4+ materials. It's unaffected by card effects. It's Arrival. It's a unaffected Arrival. I know people like to call it towers. I call it Arrival. 3,600 unaffected by card effects. Oh my. I guess if we look at monsters that are popular that are bigger than 36, so when it becomes unaffected, I guess a Zombie Stein could attack over it. They could very easily make the full armor to attack over it. So 3,600 unaffected is not even that big of a deal. And if we somehow have 6+ materials, your opponent cannot add cards from the deck to the hand by card effects. That's probably going to be impossible, right? There's no way we're going to get 6 materials under this card. Now, let's start with the ultra rares. And looking at the deck breakdown of how the deck's played, it looks like pretty much everything's just played at 3. Keck W. Now, it's funny to note that the red one is ultra rare in Master Duel, but it's super rare here. The blue and the red exceed. The blue and red exceed are going to be the ultra rares, which are super and rare. Okay, let's read them. Let's start off maybe with the exceeds. Now, note, I don't know what this deck type does because I've been casting tournaments for 5 months straight, 6 months straight of Master Duel, and I have not seen this deck type once, maybe on release day. Once per turn, you could detach a material, target a monster on the field, destroy it. It's a quick effect if you have Quantum Red Layer as a material. Quick effect, pop a monster on the field, target. And then once per turn, you could attach a Super Quantum monster from your hand or field to this as a material. Okay, once per turn, pop a monster. That seems pretty good. Let's read the blue exceed. 2 level 3 monsters instead. Once per turn, detach to target a spell and trap, destroy it. Pop a back row. Quick effect, pop a back row if you have the quantum blue layer. Okay, so the red's level 5, and it's quick effect, pop a monster. The blue's level 3, quick effect, pop a back row if it's got the 3. Very good. And what about the green? So we just have red, blue, green, which will be the 4. If we pop monster and we pop back row, this one's got to do something with the graveyard, right? No, it's a Book of Moon. Once per turn, you could detach, target a face-up monster, flip it face down. Even better than graveyard. Quick effect if you have the green layer in this. So it looks like a really simple deck type. We got the green with the 4, the blues are 3, and the reds are 5. Now there's a mismatch here. Before I read what the blue, red, and green do, what does this one do? This one probably searches or summons the other ones to make the deck more consistent. Now in Master Duel, I know people are playing cards like 1 for 1. 1 for 1 special summons the level 1, so I do think the level 1's probably really important. We'll see. Once per turn, you could target a super quant monster you control. Itself, right? It could target itself. All face-up monsters you control become that monster's level. Okay, so this plus any of the other monsters will become the same level as any other monster we have in the field. What else? You could tribute this card to reveal 3 super quant monsters with different names from your deck. Different names. Your opponent randomly picks one to special summon to your field. So you're gonna have a 66% chance to hopefully have destroy a monster or Book of Moon. You might not want the pop back row. Okay. Special summon to your field, send the rest to the graveyard. You can only use this effect once per turn. Unfortunately, it's tribute, and it doesn't stay on the field, then summons another monster alongside it. So how consistently are we going to be able to have another monster? We're going to normal summon, special summon a super quant from the deck, then what? How do we exceed with it? I'm not following this so far. Maybe the spell which is used in the Master Duel deck. Field spell. So we could pathfinding for this. Discard a card, target a super quantum you control. Special summon from your extra deck. Oh, okay. We don't even need to exceed. We could cheat out our exceed by targeting. Discard a card, target a super quant on the field, then special summon from your extra deck a super quant mech beast exceed with the same attribute as that monster by using it as a material. You're going to play 3 of this, definitely. You could send this from the field to the graveyard, target 3 Quantal Mech Beast, which is going to be the Exceeds with different names you control and or in your graveyard. Special summon the Super Quantal Mecha King. Great. Wait, that's how you summon this one. Because this thing requires 3 level 12 monsters. This is how you do it. You send this from the field to the graveyard, target 3 Super Quantal Mech Beast with different names you control and or in your graveyard. 3 of them. So if you got the red, blue, and green exceed, you send this from the field to the graveyard, then you make the Omega Great Magnus. Then you're going to be able, is it 3 or more? Target 3. You control different names and or in your graveyard, special summon the Great Magnus from your extra deck. If you do attach the targeted monsters and their materials, that's how this is going to gain the 4+. Otherwise, if it's from the graveyard, it's going to be 2 materials and be able to non-targeting shuffle card on the field back on the deck. If you have at least 1 exceed on the field with 1 material, then it's going to be unaffected by card effects. Okay, wow, the field spell is nuts. Let's read the monsters now. The blue layer, why is this one ultra rare? When this card is summoned, you could add a super quant card from your deck to your hand. Add the field spell. Then field spell, go into the blue. Quick effect, pop a back row. Okay, there you go. Right away, this is 1 card exceed. This is 1 card blue exceed. Add 1 super quant from your deck to your hand, except the super quant blue layer. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target up to 3 super quant cards. Up to 3, doesn't have to be 3 in your graveyard. Shuffle them in the deck. Okay, so it's got some good recursion, some good recycling. Now the blue one, the red one, I think it's a special summon. If you control no monsters, you could special summon this card from your hand. Special summon red layer, normal summon the level 1, then make it level 5, then you got the red one. So this is 1 card exceed. This is not 1 card exceed, I don't think so, is it? When this card is summoned, which it could be summoned through its effect if you control no monsters, you could target 1 super quant in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Okay. If this card is, if you have this with a field spell, of course, you're going to be able to use this with it. So that will be one card if you have this, but this is searchable with the Super Quant blue layer. So you could Pathfinder, Tribute, add field spell, special summon red layer with field spell into the Super Quantal quick effect pop a monster. Is Pathfinder going to be playable because red layer special summons after normal summoning your Pathfinder? Maybe that's a play. If this is sent to the graveyard, not from field to graveyard, which means also if detached as a material, target a Super Quant monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but it cannot activate its effects. Pretty good. Pretty good. This deck, it just builds itself. What does the green one do? It's probably going to be the crappiest one. When this card is summoned, you could special summon a Super Quant from your hand. Oh, okay. That's actually not crappy. If this card is sent to the graveyard, discard a Super Quant, draw 1. Interesting. So that's going to be for the Book of 1. This could summon another green or summon the Super Quantal Fairy Alpha. It's the Power Ranger deck. We Mighty Morphin. Great Magnus with a field spell. I'm excited for this. What does the trap do? The trap's not being used in Master Duel, but Duel Links is a different beast. Maybe it's going to be good. Super Quantal Mech Sword, Magnaslayer. Target a Super Quant Exceed. You control, equip this to it, gain attack equal to its rank, times 100. Okay. If it attacks a defense, inflict piercing. So far, it's absolutely trash. During your battle phase, you could send this equipped card to the graveyard. The monster that was equipped with this can now make 3 attacks. No, I mean, how are you going to... The first thing you have to do when reading cards is it, number 1, is it searchable? Number 2, if it's not searchable, is it better than Book of Moon? It's not better than Book of Moon, and you wouldn't want to search this even if you can search it, which the blue one could search it. No, we're not searching you. You suck. You're trash. But the rest of the deck seems pretty good, seems spicy. This deck gonna look like this? The deck builds itself. What can I say? The deck builds itself. I'm excited for it. Looks simple, looks fun. Will it be top tier? Maybe. New heroes from the brand new box. Let's talk about them. Holy moly. Elemental Hero Sunrise and the Liquid Soldier. 2 cards that are definitely being used in the Master Duel version of Heroes. We'll make the deck top tier. Let's look into it. We're getting top tier skills potentially. What are these skills? What does this do? During this duel, you could normal summon Neos without tributing. Hero Alliance, is that even good? In addition to the following effect can be used once per turn when you have summoned your Neos. Okay, so this is the whole duel? The entire duel you could summon Neos without tributing? Seems kind of nutty. When you summon Neos, you could send 1 card from your hands to the graveyard to add a Super Poly, add it in your deck, add it to your deck, add 1 Super Poly in your deck. Is it add it to your hand from the deck or add it to the deck? I think it's add it from your deck. Add it, this is the translation of the skill. So I think we're gonna add Super Poly to the hand from the deck, or you could add a Poly, Miracle Contact, or Miracle Fusion from outside of your deck to your hand. I think that might be what it means to add 1 in your deck. From your deck, in your deck, into your deck, I don't know. I guess maybe it's adding it into the deck. You can then send 2 random Neospacians from outside of your deck to the graveyard, add an Elemental Hero Divine Neos to your extra deck. 25-25, what does this card do? What this Mad Lad is going to do, the big play, is going to be you are going to be able to, once per turn, banish a Neos, Neospace, Neospatian, or Hero monster from your graveyard, gain 500 attack, and then gain the monster's effects, but it's random, okay? The skill can only be used or applied if the duel begins the deck with a bunch of restrictions. Okay, there's not really much I could say about that, but the power leads to destiny skill. Let's read that. Reveal a card in your hand to the opponent. Depending on the card you have revealed, you could use each of the following effects once per duel. If you reveal a normal spell, you could send 3 Evil Hero Malicious from outside of your deck to the graveyard, and you could now normal summon set Malicious without tributing, similar to summoning Elemental Heroes without tributing. Okay, looks like Konami's putting a lot of thought into these skills. If you reveal a Super Polymerization, which you can only play 1 of, you can get for 850 gems from the special set, you could set a Castle Field spell from outside of your deck, and you could add a Malicious Bane to your extra deck. I'm excited for this. Malicious Bane. Holy moly, what does this card do? It is going to be summonable with the Dark Fusion. It cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, so it could be a good turn 1 play just to summon this. And even if you summon it turn 2, what could it do? During your main phase, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls with an attack less than or equal to this card. And it's 3,000 attack. And I think the field spell is going to boost it up a little bit. Your blah, blah, blah. You could send 1 evil hero from your deck or actually to the graveyard. Your monster gains attack equal to the level sent, but that is only going to be during the damage calculation, so that's not really going to be a thing right there. And also, this states that you cannot declare an attack except with hero monsters, which is not going to really be a downside. So wipe out the field, indestructible by battle and card effects, summon it in D and chill. That's pretty good. That sounds great. And if you summon it with Dark Fusion, doesn't it make you untargetable? Your opponent cannot target it with card effects this turn. So you are going to summon a Malicious Bane, untargetable, indestructible, cannot be destroyed by battle, and wipe out the entire field, then you can attack with all your heroes for game. Holy moly. That's the skill I'm looking for. Now, what cards are going to support that from the new box? Or the other skill? We have Elemental Hero Sunrise. This is a card that you definitely summon in the hero version of Master Duel. Let's look at a hero deck in Master Duel. So looking at a sample deck, that is Duel Links. Here is the Master Duel version. Generally, you are going to be summoning the Sunrise very early into the duel. Your Vian, which we have in Duel Links, which you could get from the Ferris, which we have in Duel Links, will give you Polymerization. Your Polymerization makes Sunrise. Then Sunrise gives you the Miracle Fusion. Do we have Miracle Fusion in Duel Links? We better. Of course we have it. Sunrise is going to add Miracle Fusion. So when this is summoned, it is a trigger effect. You can't book a moon to stop it from adding the Miracle Fusion. And we got Miracle Fusion, which could use the field or graveyard to make a Elemental Hero Fusion monster. Generally in Master Duel, the Miracle Fusion will be summoning an absolute 0, which we don't have, unfortunately. But we do have maybe the Shining could be good. A light monster plus Elemental Hero. I'm not sure what we're going to be summoning. You tell me what we're going to summon with the Miracle Fusion. So the Sunrise has another effect that when attack is declared involving another hero you control, target a card in the field and pop it. It is once per turn. Also, it's worth noting that monsters you control gain 200 attack for each different attribute you control. Boost up the fields. That's pretty good. Now, Elemental Hero Prisma, I don't think it's going to be used in a hero deck. I think it's going to be used in a Gladiator Beast deck. We would send Gladiator Beast, make the Geysiris play. Yes, Geysiris with Prisma, Test Tiger, Prisma, pop 2 cards in the field. But the Liquid Soldier, this card's nuts. Liquid Soldier, you're going to use this with the Polymerization to make the Sunrise. If you Polymerize using Liquid Soldier, you get to draw 2, discard 1. And in Duel Links, since you're a 20-card deck, draw 2 is a lot more effective than draw 2 in Master Duel, drawing exactly what you need to. So very good. Drawing your 1 copy of Super Poly, that could be pretty good. If you don't use it for Polymerization, after your normal play is going to be Vian, the Ferris into Vian into Poly, and hopefully Poly using Liquid Soldier to make the Sunrise, draw 2, discard 1, draw on a Mass Change. That's going to be very good. Draw on a Mass Change. Now, if you don't use it with Poly, you're going to normal summon it, target a level 4 or lower hero in the graveyard, special summon it. So that will special summon. The ideal play is going to be Elemental Hero Stratos. So Liquid Soldier, special summon Stratos from the graveyard. That's going to be a great play, but less rare play. It's not going to be as common. So if we look at an Elemental Hero deck, this is an Elemental Hero deck. There's a lot of different hero decks in Duel Links. Will this benefit from the Sunrise? No. What the hell? That's trash. Let's move on to another one. Evil Hero. Will this benefit from the Sunrise or the new hero cards? This will mostly be the new hero skill. So no. Let's look at the Destiny Hero deck. Will this benefit from the new cards? It does not look like it will. No, but the hero deck will. So Hero is going to, we're going to put Ferris back in, right? Why is no one playing Ferris anymore? What the hell? Okay, this dude's playing, this is the deck type that does play Ferris. Ferris into Vian, into Sunrise, into Miracle Fusion, into Miracle Fuse. That's going to be the way. The hero deck type, hopefully going to be top tier at these new cards. Some liquid ideas? No Ferris and Avi. Okay, here's the Varus. Okay, some of them. Thank you, XJK, for some hero builds. So this will be supported by the new cards. Wow, triple liquid? Triple liquid. I guess it's going to consistently be drawing into your mass change. Euphorus, Vian, grab Poly with the liquid. Oh my. Or you could just play without Ferris. I think Ferris will probably be the way, right? You tell me. I would lean towards this skill. What are these other cards that are saying hero in their name? So this is very good hero support. And the Prisma is really good Gladiator Beast support. So let's actually, while we're talking about heroes, let's show you the Gladiator Beast combo real quick. Elemental Hero Prisma could send Vespius, Bestiari, Spartacus, Lucari, and Augustus. That's going to be used with a Test Tiger. It's going to turn it into a Gladiator Beast. So instead of playing 3 copies of Bestiari, you're now playing 6. 3 Plasma, 3 Bestiari. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Bestiari or the Prisma in TCG back in the day was limited to 1. It was so good, it was limited to 1. One of them, limited to 1 or limited to 2. But in Duel Links, with a 20-card deck, 3 and 3, that's going to be super consistent. Okay, Test Tiger with the Prisma is going to be instant Geyseris pop cards in the fields. Get Geyseris, get poppin'. So that's a very cool play. Very good. Cool to see that. Very nice. Prisma, Test Tiger, loving it. Hero Kid, you special on a hero? Yeah, no thank you. And there you go. That's what I'm thinking about the heroes. Pop cards when your other monster attacking, grab Miracle Fusion. Wait, was he even playing Miracle Fusion in his build? Are we really... Okay, he is Miracle Fusion. I don't have his extra deck though. What is the extra deck? What are we going to summon? Because the liquid's water, that's why we summoned the Absolute Zero, which we're not getting in Duel Links. One day we will. Maybe we can get Tornado. Tornado's gonna be reducing the field by half, yeah? Tornado could be a really good play. Tornado with your Stratos is gonna have the attack and defense of all monsters your opponent controls, which is searchable at the Sunrise. So Sunrise is gonna enable one-turn kills. Sunrise, Miracle, Tornado, reduce the field, non-targeting reduce, attack, you're boosted, pop a card in the fields. Loving it. Heroes from the new box. Sacred Beast in the new box. Now, you don't see the Sacred Beast here. We already have the Sacred Beast. This is all about Yuria, Raviel, and Haman. We now have support for these cards to have the official deck type known as Sacred Beast. I've played this deck type in Master Duel. We are missing a few cards. We're getting the Fallen Paradise through a skill. Otherwise, we have, through the core cards of the deck, we do have the Chaos Summoning Beast. We do have the Dark Beckoning Beast. We do have the Dark Summoning Beast. We do have the Fallen Paradise. We just don't have the opening of the Spirit Gates, but that's okay. This is just to make the deck more consistent. We're already a 20-card deck, so maybe we're not going to even need it. Now, let's look at the skill that supports the Sacred Beast deck type and how the deck works. We're going to have the skill called Devoured by Sacred Beasts. Each of the following effects can be used once per turn. You can return a Fiend-type monster with 0 attack/defense from your hand to the deck to add Yuria, Haman, or Raviel from your deck to your hand. 0 attack and defense? Well, that's all of these. That's all of them. You're going to play 3, probably 3, maybe 1 of the Dark Summoning Beast. Very good. Now, what else does it do? You could select 2 cards from your hand or face-up monsters, return them to your deck, send 3 Hyper Blaze from outside of your deck to the graveyard. Then you could add a Fallen Paradise from outside of your deck to the bottom of your deck. And then at the end of your next turn, Fallen Paradise will be banished. Now, Fallen Paradise is going to be your Pot of Greed. And it's going to make your Haman, 4,000 attack, 4,000 defense, untargetable. And you're going to search for the Pot of Greed with your Chaos Summoning Beast. So we'll get to that in a bit. Now, Hyper Blaze being sent from outside of the deck to the graveyard. I didn't use this when I played the Sacred Beast deck. So what does this do? It gives Yuria attack. Oh, that's it? So Yuria is normally 0 attack, 0 defense. But by putting 3 traps in the graveyard, we don't care about the effect. It's going to make Yuria 3,000 attack, 3,000 defense. So you have Raviel at 4,000, 4,000, Haman, 4,000, 4,000, Yuria, 3K, 3K. So Yuria is better in Duel Links than in Master Duel because this card sucks in Master Duel. It doesn't do anything. So it's at least going to be 3,000 attack and 3,000 defense due to 3 continuous traps in the graveyard. So what you're normally going to do with this deck is you're going to normal summon the Dark Beckoning Beast, which will activate to add a Dark Summoning Beast or a Chaos Summoning Beast. The Dark Summoning Beast will be able to be summoned this turn with the Dark Beckoning Beast by tribute summoning over it. Then this will summon a Sacred Beast from your deck. But then the fun pretty much ends there. The better play is the Chaos Summoning Beast will summon the Sacred Beast from your hand. Why is that better? Because when this card is in the graveyard, it could banish itself to search for the Fallen Paradise. So what the play is going to be is you're going to return one of your monsters that you main deck among those 3 back in the deck to add a Haman. After adding Haman, you could normal summon the Dark Beckoning Beast or just open up the Chaos Summoning Beast. Then the Chaos Summoning Beast is going to summon the Haman from your hand. And then you're going to banish the Chaos Summoning Beast in the graveyard to search for the Fallen Paradise. You can activate the Fallen Paradise. Now your 4,000 attack, 4,000 defense Haman cannot be targeted, and you draw 2. Pot of Greed. And then you're going to Pot of Greed again next turn, but then that will be the last turn you're able to do that. So you will be able to draw 2 to 4 cards and be protected from targeting, and it's very easily set up. You're essentially playing 6 of the Chaos Summoning Beast because the Dark Beckoning could search it. Very good. And then you're going to be using it with the skill. So that's going to be the main play. Otherwise, if you just open up a Dark Beckoning Beast, you summon it, you search for Dark Summoning Beast, you use the effect to additionally summon, it summons the Dark Summoning Beast, then you summon a 4,000 attack, 4,000 defense in the deck, and then your turn pretty much ends there. So you're going to ideally want to open up a Chaos Summoning or a Dark Beckoning, plus another level 0 attack or defense fiend. Now, are these the only 0 attack and defense fiends in the game? So what are the popular cards? Or maybe we could tech this in a triple D deck. It works with a Kepler, right? Kepler, Grandma Ju, I don't think the question marks work with that. Maybe a Ubel, Sacred Beast with Ubel. Woo! Maybe that's the way to play this deck, because this is such a compact engine. You're only you could play 3 Beckoning, 3 Chaos, and then 1 of each of these. I think you have to play all 3 of them for the skill to even work. You have to have all 3 of the Sacred Beasts in your deck to make it work, and then you have the rest of your deck to fill out with whatever you want. Now, what does Hyper Blaze do when you actually draw into it? To special summon your Uria using its own procedure, you could use face down traps you control. Trash, don't worry about that. Once per battle, when an attack is declared involving your Uria, you could send a trap from your hand or deck to the graveyard. Its attack becomes the number of face-up traps in the field and in the graveyard times 100 for the rest of the turn. Once per turn, discard a card, add specials. I'm not sure if this is going to be good. This is probably not going to be good. The Hyper Blaze is not going to be good. So your deck's going to be 3, 3, 1, 2, maybe 3 if you really want to use the skill more consistently. If you open this up without the Dark Beckoning Beast, then it sucks. It's level 5, so maybe just 1. 1, 3, 3, and then all 3 of the Lords, and then you're going to be Pot of Greeting into maybe Book of Moon or into Treacherous Trap Hole, and you're going to be untargetable. So the deck's really simple. Very simple, very cool. We'll see how well it does when the box releases. Let's go. Now, Fossil. From the new box, these are all the Fossil cards we are getting. Ooh, even more. What does a Fossil deck look like in Master Duel? Well, I took a Fossil deck in Master Duel, I removed all the non-Fossil cards, and it looks like this. We are getting the Weathering Soldier, very good. Shell Knight, where's the Shell Knight? Well, Shell Knight's actually coming as a character card. Shell Knight, right? There you go. Jim Crocodile Cook Event. So this card is, I think, going to be worth farming for. You do want to get this card because it is used in Master Duel. Fossil Fusion. Of course we got the Fossil Fusion. Miracle Rupture. We got the Miracle Rupture. Now, what about the fusions? That's 6 different fusions. We are getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that all the entire Fossil deck type we're getting? Another complete deck? Hold up. We don't have this one. What is this one? The Fossil Machine Skull Convoy. We have all of them besides that one. Well, is that going to be enough to make the deck bad? Beyond that, it looks like we have pretty much a complete deck type. Now, let's look into it. I don't really know what fossils do besides they like being in the graveyard. So let's check them out. Let's start with the ultra rares. Rock monster plus 1 level 7 or higher monster. Now, to summon this, we're probably going to use Fossil Fusion. So let's read Fossil Fusion. Fossil Fusion. Fusion summon a Fossil Fusion from your extra, banishing fusion materials from any graveyard. Your opponent's graveyard? Okay. So this will be a rock monster probably from your graveyard, and then a level 7 or higher monster from your opponent's graveyard. So if we look at how popular level 7 monsters are, minimum level 7, and the most popular level 7 monsters are, as you see on screen. So if any of these get into the graveyard, the pendulums will be harder to do unless they were exceed summoned with. Using any of these plus your rock monster, you're going to make the boss monster with the Fossil Fusion. If you banish monsters from both graveyards, neither player can target that special summon monster with monster effects. If a face-up fossil is destroyed, you could add this from the graveyard to your hand. Okay, so rock monster from your grave, level 7 or higher from your opponent's grave, and then what are you doing? You summon a Fossil Fusion. This card can make a second attack during each battle phase. If this card attacks a defense, inflict piercing, during your opponent's turn only quick effect, you could target a monster in your opponent's graveyard, discard a card. If you do, yoink that monster and special summon it to your field. Kind of funny, maybe not so good of a turn 1 play. Obviously, I mean, how are they going to get a level 7 or higher in their graveyard? Maybe we play Dark World Dealings, yeah? Trick your opponent into discarding fuel for your fusions. You could yoink Gandora. That's a very good idea. They discard Gandora, yoink it. So maybe you Dark World Dealings, they discard a monster, and then you could fusion summon with their graveyard. Let's read what this one does. If this card is destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard by a card effect, which the Miracle Rupture could do from your deck, you could add Fossil Fusion or one card that lists Fossil Fusion in its text from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. So a card that lists Fossil Fusion in its text. Let's type in the word Fossil Fusion. The Miracle Rupture. So we can Miracle Rupture send it, then add a Miracle Rupture. Or we could add Shell Knight. What does Shell Knight do? Is it worth adding Shell Knight with this effect? Well, let's see. Shell Knight, when this card is normal summoned, so you Miracle Rupture, send the Weathering Soldier, then you add Shell Knight if you don't want to add the fusion spell. You normal summon this, you could change this to defense. If you do, inflict 250 KEKW. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect or destroyed by battle, you could add a level 8 rock monster from your deck to your hand, which is going to be Block Dragon. So you can Miracle Rupture, send this to the graveyard, and then add Block Dragon from your deck to your hand. Did Block Dragon get banned or anything in Duel Links? I don't think so. It's legal. We got a Block Dragon deck. Let's go. Miracle Rupture, send this, then add Block Dragon. So if you mill this, you add Block Dragon, you could summon Block Dragon, but you cannot activate its effect in the graveyard to search for up to 3 monsters. Okay, so we have searchable Block Dragon now by sending the Shell Knight with Miracle Rupture. Send it, and if Fossil Fusion's in your graveyard, draw 1. Okay, let's read the other fossils. So this one, not that crazy, but you know, a Block Dragon deck maybe. This is going to be a level 5 or 6 monster, which you could use your opponent's graveyard. It's not level 5 or 6 or higher. It's just has to be level 5 or 6. If this attacks, it inflicts piercing battle damage. When it destroys a monster by battle, you can make a second attack. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target a monster on the field, and destroy it. Probably a better effect while in the graveyard than it actually being on the field. Okay, let's see the other one. Rock plus level 4 or lower monster. This has to be from your opponent's graveyard. It has to be level 4 or lower from their graveyard. If this, they all inflict piercing damage, I think. You can banish this card from the graveyard, add Fossil Fusion from your deck to your hand. Kind of trash. Okay. Fossil Machine. Level 5 or 6 monster, plus the rock monster has to be from your graveyard. This can make up to 2 attacks during each battle phase. When this destroys a monster by battle, you can inflict 400 to your opponent. You can banish this card, target a spell or trap on the field, destroy it. Okay. Now, I'll tell you right now, in Master Duel, we have ways to put extra deck monsters into the graveyard without summoning them. So a lot of these cards are used in Master Duel, but they're not even used to be summoned. So what you could look out for is a card called Dogmatica Punishment. The punishment is a good way to destroy a monster on the field and get your fossil in the graveyard. I think there's also called Extra Foolish Burial. So if this were to ever come out in Duel Links, send a monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, and then you get to use their effects. Otherwise, probably in Duel Links, we're going to have to properly summon them. What else does this do? This destroys a monster by battle, inflict 300, banish this card from the graveyard, add a monster that lists Fossil Fusion from your deck to your hand. Then what is this one? Must be special summon with Fossil Fusion, blah, blah, blah. 2 attacks during the battle phase. You can banish this in the graveyard. Add 1 time stream from your deck to your hand. Time stream. Not... Wait. We're getting this card, but not even the card to search? So I can't really say how good the Fossil deck's going to be. I guess the biggest power is going to be Miracle Rupture, being able to send a Tackle Crusader. That's really good. Tackle Crusader to the graveyard is going to be able to return a face-up card, that spell trap back to the hand, or flip a monster face down. That could be pretty good. Miracle Rupture. Searching for the Block Dragon with Miracle Rupture. That's also very good. Oh, the time stream is searchable. You do get it. Target a Fossil Fusion you control. Tribute it. If you do special summon a Fossil from your extra deck whose level is 2 higher than that monster, then during your main phase, except this was sent to the graveyard, you can banish a card, 1 Fossil Fusion monster, target a Fossil Fusion in your graveyard, special summon it. Interesting. Well, got Fossil in its name. It's all about banishing from both players' graveyards, then using their effects in the grave. Seems pretty cool. All right, fossils. Now, for everything we have not covered yet, we have the Cyber Angel Vrash. Cyber Angel Vrash. How good is this one going to be? This is 3,000 attack, 2,000 defense. When it's ritual summon, you can destroy as many face-up monsters your opponent controls as possible that were summoned from the extra deck. Then inflict 500 for each. And then you can make a second attack during each battle phase, not on a monster, but it could be directly. So double 3,000 to the face. Holy moly. So if they have 2 monsters from the extra deck, you burn them for 1,000. Then they could have a monster not from the extra deck. You attack on that monster, then you attack for game. So this is a game-finishing Cyber Angel. And during either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated that would destroy a card in the field, you could shuffle a ritual monster from your graveyard into the deck to negate. Woo! This is a boss monster. This is a boss. This will end the game. Wipe the field of monster, negate destruction. What destroys on the field? Well, let's see. Popular cards that destroy. Monster or destroy anything. When a card or effect is activated, they'll destroy a card in the field. It can negate MST, negate the Treacherous, negate the incredibly popular full armor Photon Dragon, which we've been seeing throughout the entire day of the tournament, trying to pop cards. Oh my. Very good. The Dark Contract poppage. We now have the new Fire Fist, 2 Beast Warrior monsters. If this card is special summon, you could inflict 100 Keck W for each fire formation you control. That sounds horrible. During the battle phase, you have the quick effect of send a face-up fire formation, target a card your opponent controls, and destroy it. You can only use each once per turn. I mean, during the battle phase, pop a card. Is that really that good? Is that... How many more Fire Fist cards we have? Just that and what else? Is this even used in Master Duel? Let's check real quick. We don't have a single successful Fire Fist deck on the website. The Fusion Festival, some people were using this. Fire Fist is just not even a deck that's doing anything. Back in my day, Fire Fist was a thing. Okay. The Fire Fist Panda, I'm not going to really read these because they're not super ultra rare. Just, okay, will this be a thing? Let's check the Discord. Looks like we got some combos. Ray King, top tier player, making a field like this with a new fusion. Okay, wait, the new card's a fusion spell? When this card's activated, fusion summon a Beast Warrior from your extra deck using your hand or fields. And if this is sent to the graveyard, you could target a Fire Fist in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Okay, wait, does this do something with that? If you activate a Fire Formation, level 5, you could special summon this from your hand. Then you could special summon a Fire Fist from your graveyard. Okay. If a Fire Fist, blah, 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 blah. Let's look at the Discord some more. This is what I'm currently testing, says Lion. With the new fusion spell, with the new fusion monster. And he is using the new monster. Okay, so maybe Fusion Fire Fist is actually real. Fusion Fire Fist. What the hell? I underestimated this. It's actually a deck. Okay, I'm now excited for it. Generic rank 4, all monster control gain 800 defense. Well, that sucks. Detach a material, target a level 4 earth rock in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Maybe in the fossil earth rock deck. Okay. And then that's it. Okay, well, saying that's it with this, I mean, it's got everything. This box has everything, and we're gonna have a Meta Weekly for it on Tuesday. Let's go.